Hi, and welcome to SimpleSpiritualityPH. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Regine. I am an intuitive, manifesting-based tarot reader. I am a certified Reiki healer and an overall light worker. And before we dive into today's video, I would like to invite everyone who would like to receive notifications of my new videos to please hit the subscribe button over there. If you like this video later on, please give it your thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, you want to say hey, please do comment them down below. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now, of course, here are the details. Alrighty, let's get to the meat of the video. Now, this is the last BTS member that we're going to read for in this series, at least, so this particular series. So there might be other BTS series, who knows, in the future. You know, you can always request, and we're going to do it. I've had 2 requests so far on the friendship of Jungkook and V and on the friendship of Jungkook and Jimin, and I will leave them linked up here in this playlist for you to find. Let's get on with it. Now, today we're going to be using the Light Seers Tarot deck by Chrisanne. We use this for the friendship of Jimin and Jungkook. We also use this to read these card, and today we're going to do J-Hope. Okay. 4 of Wands upright. Now, I don't think that any other member could have received such a delightful card, such as, you know, it's such a dynamic card. When you see the imagery, it seems like it's moving, it's very dynamic, there's a lot of action going on there. Pretty good. Very much J-Hope. Now, off the bat, we're going with the obvious. We know that J-Hope makes a lot of noise, meaning he likes to talk, right? He likes to make a lot of sound effects, as you can see. But at the same time, he also likes expressing, that's a better word, expressing himself using his body. It's no wonder why he's the main dancer, right? So he uses his body a lot. And I've seen this in many videos, but I'm not sure if Hobie knows, but it seems like he's very much a kinetic learner. I also used to be a teacher, a high school teacher, way in the past. Like my first job was actually a high school teacher. And when you're teaching kids, when you're teaching students, there are different ways for them to absorb information, right? And one of them is kinetic learning. Kinetic learning is when you use your body and when you learn from, let's say, for example, actions or dance moves, when you learn better. Like, let's say, for example, someone dances out the ABCs. You learn it better when it's danced, when it's in a dance, rather than if it was spoken to you, or rather than, let's say, for example, if it was written down for you. So I think, I'm not sure if J-Hope knows, but he's very much a kinetic learner. And he's using his gifts in that department, you know, in the movement department, very well. He is consistent. I have seen videos, like, I love Run BTS. I love watching Run BTS. I watch like 1 episode a night before I go to sleep, so I have great dreams, right? I see him using his body a lot when it comes to the tasks, when it comes to expressing himself, and that is such a good thing. Hobie is someone who knows how to express himself, and he does this through his body. Now, he might not be expressive vocally, and I think that's one thing that he actually wants to work on. He wants to make it a home as much as the dancing does. So he wants to, that's one of the messages, the main messages that I'm getting for him, is that he really wants to be able to express himself both through his dance, like through his actions, but at the same time with his voice as well. Hobie he's the kind of person who, well, from my observation, right, and from me sensing his energy right now, he seems like he's the kind of person who is very reserved about what he's going to say, mostly because he's afraid that it might not be accepted. All of us, and I mean all of us, on planet Earth, fear rejection. I don't know of any person who is excited to be rejected by anything, anyone, anywhere. You know, I don't know of a person who is excited about being rejected, right? And it's the same for Hobie. So that's one of his more human qualities, right? I mean, he's human, but that's one of his more human qualities, that he fears rejection a lot, and mostly because he knows that he's probably, so let's be real, right? In the beginning, he wasn't the most popular member. Other members did have the limelight much longer than he did. And when I say limelight, this is not to mean that it's on purpose, but it's just that a lot of people gravitated to the other members more than Hobie. And so because of that, he actually learned that it's really wise to hold back on some things. It's wise to think about what you're going to say. It's wise to think about thinking before speaking or thinking before acting. You know, it might not seem that way sometimes, especially on Run BTS, because they're so excited. Like, everyone's so excited, right? And he does express himself a lot through his through his words and his actions, mostly his actions. But he's learned to be a little bit reserved because he doesn't want to accept any more rejection. Again, no one on planet Earth wants rejection. So I understand you, Hobie. Like, it's a real fear. It's one of my fears too. I have a fear of rejection. But yeah, so he wants his movements to be, I mean, he knows that his movements are expressing who he is, himself, but he also wants his words to do the same thing for him. And although it may seem like a faraway thing from him, like it may seem like this goal might be really far away from him, it's actually closer than he thinks. I'm not sure if he knows that. Right? If you look at the card, you see the distance between the women dancing and, oh, well, we're not sure about this one. We're not sure if this is a woman or a man, but, excuse me, the distance between them and the tent is not that far. And so this is actually one thing that he should know, that his expression, him expressing himself perfectly through dance is actually achievable with his voice. He can express himself with his voice, and people will understand it, and people will accept it. He doesn't have to be afraid. And this goes for all of us as well. All of us who, including myself, I'm talking to myself as well. When we're afraid of rejection, all we really need to do is be ourselves and trust that we will be accepted no matter what. We create our future, right? All of us, we manifest our own lives, and we can manifest ourselves to be great communicators. We can manifest ourselves to be acceptable because we are. There is no person, place, or thing that can actually reject you unless you allow them to do so, right? And so Hobie's learning that right now. And I think that he's closer than he ever thinks. Another thing that I'm getting is that he's also at the pace, or not at the pace, well, he's at his own pace right now. But I'm also sensing that similar to the message that we received with V, is that he's also, how do I say this? Looking for the right words, the more perfect words for it. I had to pause. I forgot the words. I forgot the phrase. But the word is go with the flow. The phrase is go with the flow. He's also at that stage in life where it's very much go with the flow. And going with the flow is important, especially if we want to manifest things in our lives. The reason why people who manifest so quickly are at ease, mostly at ease, is because they know that they're going to have what they want. And if you knew that you were going to have what you want eventually, you're not going to worry. I mean, it might not seem that way at that time, but eventually you know that it's coming. Again, it's like going to a restaurant, ordering, and just trusting that your order is being made in the kitchen and it's going to come out eventually. You don't need to go inside the kitchen to see how it's being cooked. You don't need to constantly ask the waiter, how is it? How is it? It's fine to ask every once in a while. The waiter will respond, like the universe does respond to us, but you just need to trust it. And people who trust are in the go with the flow, are in the chill zone, are in the no worries kind of zone. They are in the zone where they're happy all the time. And Hobie has a lot of happiness to give. There's genuine happiness there. Although I also feel that sometimes he does run out of battery, because everyone's energy does run out every now and then. It doesn't disintegrate, right? Because energy cannot be created or destroyed, can neither be created nor destroyed. We learned this in physics, right? But it does deplete in terms of levels. So Hobie's levels do deplete every now and then, and he does need a little bit of cheering on. He does need a little bit of love. So for a lot of you out there who are Hobie stans, who have Hobie as their bias, it would do him great to send him a lot of, loving energy. Just send him good vibes. Send all of the members good vibes, from you to them. But Hobie particularly, since he's so happy all the time, it would do him really, really well if we gave him the same happiness that he gives us. So it's just as he says, right? I'm your hope. You're my hope. I'm your hope. I'm J Hope. So let's give him that same. Let's give him the same amount of hope and happiness that he does give us as well. So yeah, for Hobie, it's a time right now. I'm sensing it's a time of discovery for him, especially since he's growing older. There's kind of like, I'm sensing a transformation in him, a complete transformation from good to better. So if he was good in the past, if he was feeling good in the past, if he thinks that he was doing good in the past, now is the time for him to discover that, hey, I'm actually doing better than before. It's not that the past was bad, but there's always, better is always welcome. So he's rediscovering himself as we speak, and that's a very good thing for Hobie. All right, so I hope this was fun for you. That's a very good message for J Hope. I'm so happy for him. So I hope, again, it was fun for you. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, you want to say hey, please do comment them down below. If you would like to receive notifications of my new videos, please hit the subscribe button over there. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now, of course, here are the details. And that's it. Stay happy, stay healthy, and if you have any requests, anything at all, we're not limiting ourselves to just K-pop artists. We're not limiting ourselves to BTS. Anything that you can think of. Let's see what we can do about it, and yeah, let's do it. And I will see you guys next time. Ciao for now.